First, we need to take into account the fact that European countries experience wars for centuries, and especially 2 world wars during the 20th centuries. That left a deep, deep mark into Europeans' mentalities, meaning that the Europeans don't want to have a kind of European power, military power, dominating the rest of the world. No more. That means that the European Union wants to define itself as a soft power or a peaceful power. That's one point. Secondly, there is already a European army called the Eurocorps, initially created by the Germans and the French, with other armies joining too. Mainly they are involved in peacekeeping and humanitarian operations. Nowadays about 20,000 European troops under European flags are present in various parts of the world for peacekeeping missions or humanitarian missions. This is how, indeed, the army, the idea of an army in the European Union is so far. Another aspect is that within the EU, you have states who are favorable to the idea of we don't need a European army because we are in NATO, and NATO is enough. And others are saying NATO is interesting, but we need to have indeed a European army in order to give more credibility to European voice abroad. So far, Europe is considered to be as an economic giant and a military dwarf. So when it's talking in various crises, some are just disregarding them as being negligible quantities. So some are just saying, okay, we don't want to be an imperialist power, but maybe we would need indeed an army in order to. It's still an open debate so far. A last aspect is financial. If you want an army, you need to invest in it. Are you ready to? So far not. I don't think it will change a lot so far, because as I mentioned earlier, Britain is not part of the Schengen agreement area. So about the refugee crisis, that means that after the Brexit, the British will have to deal with this issue alone, and the EU on the other side. But I also believe that after that there will be a kind of agreement of cooperation between the EU and Britain in order to be as efficient as possible in the dealing of that question. Okay. Definitely no. There are no nation state able to deal alone. However powerful that nation state can be, even the United States is no more able to deal alone with this issue. Let's say, for instance, in this electoral campaign, the issue of building a wall between Mexico and the United States. Reality shows that no such thing is ever effective, because illegal immigrant traffickers are always trying to find new ways. They are extremely creative. That means that only strengthened cooperations and even joint policies are needed to face that kind of problem.
Thank you very much, Professor. You're welcome.